So I've stopped in the. I seem to be in the lorry bit of the service station. That wasn't my initial plan. I'll try and find somewhere quieter. So yeah, but I wasn't going to do one today because I'm in transit, as they say. And I am. Yeah, that looks like I'm in the countryside, doesn't it? Doesn't look like I'm in lorry side. Lorry side? I don't know. So today I'm going to talk about. I'm quite excited. I'm going to talk about how we so often get our little maps of the future, our little predictions of the future. We get them quite wrong, and basically, I've had a really full-on week this week, but in a good way. But I thought it was going to be in a bad way. So it was so eclectic. I've spent weeks, seemingly months, sitting in my kitchen, plotting and planning and writing proposals and all that sort of stuff. And I got into that headspace. I've done the odd gig and the odd talk, but and I've done some training, of course. But especially the last couple of weeks, got into that real sort of, headspace of kind of not going out there, especially not performing. And then this week was in my diary, and I was really daunted about this week. So the beginning of the week I had, last week I facilitated a meeting with some directors of a company, which was great. And then this week I went back to doing a Close Up Magic gig on Friday for a lovely company called something Trow Nutrition that used me before, which was, I haven't done a close-up gig for a while actually, been doing more training, so that was a weird one, sort of to get my head back into that space. And then after that I had two new half-an-hour talks that I did for an organisation. There was quite a lot riding on that, and they're talks I haven't done for a long time. Actually, one of them was pretty much new, and the directors were in on that, and I had to sort of do a good job, so that was quite a lot of pressure. And then I had a close-up gig last night, which was another thing, which was a joint 18th birthday party, and you want that to be good because it's an 18th birthday party, and that was great. And then this morning was the big one. Well, they were all the big one, but this morning was one I think I was most nervous about. And it's just so many lorries. Why have I stood in the lorry bit? I don't know. I thought it'd be quieter than next to the motorway, I suppose. Where was I? Lost my thread. Oh yeah, so I was more nervous about this one because I've done a little bit of work for the Independent Schools Associations, their conferences, and they've always been so lovely. And someone came up to me this year and said, would I come down and do a talk for the kids at their school in their award ceremony, end of year award ceremony, down in Leamington Spa? And I sort of said, how old are they? And he said 11 till 16 is one group, and I was like, great, yeah, I'd love to do that. And then 5 to 11 years old was the other group. And I sort of said, the 5-year, I can't engage 5-year-old, I'm just not, that's not what I do. And he was like, no, they're good kids, you'll be fine, and there's a lot of parents there. So I said yes, for the challenge, I think, to see if I could do it, because I really want to put a schools program together for next year, and that's part of my plan. So I've been nervous about it, man, because it's a new audience, that, isn't it? And obviously it's totally, you're not doing a kids show, you're not very good at that either. But I was doing magic, but it was about, it was very important that I got a message home there. So yeah, I was nervous about it, man. I don't mean nervous as in like throwing up in the toilet, but just apprehensive and just really wanting to do a good job, So I travelled down to Leamington Spa this morning at R5, and I had this picture in my head of what it was going to be like, and it wasn't that pretty, to be honest, even though I knew the kids were going to be great. But I just imagined, lots of 5-year-olds, and it was the loveliest thing. It was the school was amazing, the kids were amazing, just absolutely, and my job also was to do the to give out the awards. So I gave out like 30 awards to these little kids that came up, and I shook their hand, which was just adorable. And I was sitting on the stage, like the teachers did when when I was at school. I used to see them all on the stage, really important and stuff. Quite scary back then, different now. And I was one of them. I was on stage giving them their awards, and we did the young ones in the morning, and then the older kids in the leavers and stuff in the afternoon. And it was just a real honour, It was a real, because I feel quite passionate about the stuff I talk about, and I think to tell kids that are leaving school that, and when they're young, to try and get a little bit of message about mindset and self-belief and stuff like that is a pretty important thing for me. So I didn't want to screw that up. And And it went well, you know, it went well because the feedback was great. The parents talked to me afterwards and they were just all lovely and adorable and brilliant. The kids were great. And I spent the day there, you know. I left my house at like 6:15 this morning and got there at kind of 9 o'clock, 8:30. And had a day with them, left at 3:30 in the afternoon, had lunch from that, and it was just, yeah, I just felt really, really chuffed to do it. And I think it's another new thing, and it's something I want to do next year. Is I'm putting together a program, like I said, for schools, and that was you know, and they all did their little job. Someone did a little bit of filming for me, and yeah, so there you go, leadership training for 5-year-olds, ladies and gentlemen. So Arnold Lodge School, just, you know, if you're from the area, Leamington Spa, it's just the loveliest, just the loveliest school, really, and the people and the head, I got called Mr. Faulkner, you know, but Mr. Preston, the head, was just really open-minded and energetic, and what you'd want a headmaster to be, really, and what a difference that would have made. So. Yeah, brilliant. So there's my little thing, and the point of it is, I suppose, that I had this whole idea, I had this picture of what that was going to look like, and convinced myself what it was going to look like, and therefore this whole week I'd convinced myself that it was going to be so hectic, and going from a close-up gig to, and actually it's probably been a pretty easy week because I've done all the planning, you know, I've done all the prep. So I've done the gig, felt apprehensive about that, got home and just kind of gone, yeah, I'll just wait for the next one. And then tomorrow I'm doing a lovely school again, but doing Close Up Magic, and then Sunday I'm doing a joint 92nd-year-old's birthday party. Isn't that brilliant? What a busy old week. And I'm not being like, oh, I get loads of gigs. I haven't had anything for ages, so it is a busy week for me. So yeah, I suppose I just really like my job now. I'm back into that swing of getting out there, and then summer comes along, and the weather's nice and everything's good, isn't it? So. Yeah, I've got to learn not to just, you know, not to think too much into the future and start dreading stuff and worrying about stuff. It always works out all right. Actually, the jobs that work out to be a bit of a nightmare are the ones that you think are going to be brilliant, usually. And magicians watching this and know that. You think this is going to be a lovely gig, a bit of a shocker sometimes. So, no predicting it. So, there you go. We'll have a lovely day. Blimey, 7 minutes, 28 seconds of me banging on in a noisy car park. So, sorry about that. Have a great one. Talk to you tomorrow.